Quadcopter 101 here, and today's shoutouts goes to Original Tum, who was first to say first in one of my recent videos, and also Christopher P, who helped me pick out a nice new laptop to do this 4K video. This is my first 4K video, folks. Hope you enjoy it. Let's get to it. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, with another neat review of another neat drone. This is the EXO Blackhawk 2 Pro, the Pro model. Very nice folding drone. I'm going to go into it here shortly, but first let me just mention about EXO, what this is. Now, EXO is a company here in the US that imports and has specifically made for them Hubsan drones that have been slightly modified, have been upgraded somewhat, and sold in the US under the EXO brand. Now, what would be the reason of doing that? Well, the main reason of doing that is customer service, folks. For one thing, you're going to get this drone, within a week or so, okay? Instead of waiting a month for that slow boat from China, literally, okay? You'll get this drone very quickly. The second reason, the obvious reason to consider doing this, is that you're going to get much better customer service, okay, here in the United States, okay? Again, EXO is selling this mainly in the US. I think they might be selling in Canada too, I'm not sure, but mainly in the US. And with that in mind, if you have problems, you'll be able to contact somebody here in the US and get it resolved much more easily, much more quickly. If you tried to deal with Hubsan in China, you probably have to mail that back to China on your own dime, okay? And it's something you really don't want to do. I've done this before in the past, folks. Mailing a drone back to China is not the easiest thing or the least expensive thing in the world to do. So yeah, it's a good idea what EXO is doing here with specifically with the Hubsan drones, because the Hubsan higher end drones that they sell are not that shabby. They're very nice drones, particularly this one. I'm kind of excited to review this particular drone. So let's get right into it. Okay, first off, before I go into the review of the drone, as with most drones, this one does come with a nice carrying case, okay, for the drone and all of its accessories. And all the stuff that you see here actually does fit into this compartment very nicely, very snugly, and you'll be able to take it with you on vacation or whatever. Even this might even have the oomph to do professional drone shoots, folks. This is actually a nice drone. I kind of like it, what I've seen so far of its features. Let's talk about those features. Let's get the drone up here and let you see it up close. This is the drone, the Blackhawk 2. It is a folding drone. As with most drones these days, they're folding to make it easier for portability and take it with you on vacation. One thing about it, make sure you open up the front legs of this drone when you do open up the drone. The reason being, this steadies the drone nicely on the ground, flat on the ground. But another reason is these are antennas, folks. These have built-in antennas from the drone, for reception from the drone to the controller. And this will help improve the range. In other words, make sure that these are extended before you go flying. Don't leave them like that. You want to extend them because, again, if you look closely in there, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there are wires going up into these legs showing that these are actual antennas. Okay, that extends the antennas. Now let's go over the rest of this drone. Brushless motors, of course, for durability of the motors. It is powered by lithium-ion battery. And let's pull that battery to show you it. This is the lithium-ion. This is not LiPo. This is lithium-ion. 11.4 volts, 3,800 milliampere hour. This particular battery is supposed to give it up to 35 minutes of flight time. We'll see if it actually does that when we go flying. It's available with, the package is available either with 1, 2, or 3 batteries. These batteries ain't cheap, folks, but if you do want to continue flying after just one battery, you might consider purchasing at least one extra battery to keep you in the air in a photo shoot, especially if you're going professional. You probably want that. Want to have an extra battery with you on photo shoots. Other things about it, it doesn't have just a GPS system. It has GPS, GLONASS, and also that's GPS United States, Russian GLONASS system it can receive, and also the Chinese BeiDou satellites that are up, or GPS satellites. So 3 different satellite systems this can receive. That should make this for a very accurate GPS system on this particular drone. Now let's look more closely at it, at the belly. The belly has a lot of features, folks, that are important to talk about. Let's start from the front back, or actually from the back, forward. Okay, it has a little light on the bottom. This is actually a very bright night light that comes on automatically if you're flying at night. It actually illuminates beneath the drone. I'm not sure what the main reason is other than to see it in the air, but it also might help with these particular sensors here, namely this optical flow sensor, which automatically enables the drone to maintain a steady horizontal hover position by looking at the ground optically, along with these two infrared sensors. These two infrared sensors are ground sensors. They look at the bottom of the drone and help maintain its altitude, and also they come into play for obstacle avoidance. Okay, this is your bottom obstacle avoidance sensors. This is flying around and you're coming up to meet the ground. This supposedly will detect the ground coming up to meet you and help the drone to avoid that. I don't know how accurate the bottom sensors are in actual practice. Maybe we'll get a chance to try them out when we go out in the field, and I hope to do that actually, because I have a hill in mind that I'd like to try this sensor on to see if it actually works. Additionally, with all these electronics built into this thing, this does have a cooling fan. Okay, I recently reviewed the Mini Pro 2. That was one of its weaknesses. It did not have a cooling fan. But with all the electronics on board this thing, you definitely need a cooling fan to keep the drone cool. Okay, like the Mini Pro 2, the Mini Pro, without that cooling fan, it had a tendency to overheat if you let it sit on the ground too long before taking off. So this does come in handy, having that cooling fan. Additional features on this, it does have obstacle avoidance sensors on the front. Here's the two obstacle avoidance sensors on the front. On the bottom, again, as I mentioned, and on the rear. Okay, there are no sensors on the side, but this supposedly does have the option of either, you can select in the app for the obstacle avoidance sensors to either stop the drone if there's something in the way, or it will also automatically fly around if you select that sensor or that particular feature in the app for the obstacle avoidance. It will, if it senses something, it will try to fly around that something. Now the problem with that is, again, this does not have side sensors on it. So if there's a tree, there's a tree in front of you and it tries to fly around you, and there's a tree to the side, this actually might bump into it. So I'd use that obstacle avoidance fly around feature sparingly, folks. Okay, because that feature, especially if you're flying, say, in a dense forest, again, there is the chance of it flying sideways into something. So, but I do like the idea that it does stop. You can select it to stop if something gets in the way while it's flying. Okay, we mentioned the obstacle avoidance, optical flow. Let's get into the camera, folks. The camera actually is not too shabby on this. It's actually a very nice camera. It has a 3-axis stabilized gimbal. Okay, let's see if it'll focus to show that. 3-axis stabilized gimbal. It is a 4K camera, of course, on this. Actually, with a very nice sensor on it. Okay, it's 48 megapixel, 1/1.3 inch CMOS camera. High dynamic range equipped camera. Available video resolutions for the camera include 4K at 30 frames per second, 2.7K at 30 or 60 frames per second, 2.7K at 30 or 60 frames per second. I think I mentioned 1080p at 30 or 60 frames per second. And you can select the bit rate between 100 to 200 megabits per second bit rate. I'd recommend staying with 100 unless you're really doing professional. Then you can take it up to 200 because that's probably going to increase the file size greatly of your recorded videos if you go up to 200 megabits per second bit rate for that. It also has a lot of photo controls for still photos, for those 48 megapixel photos, and that includes auto, manual settings, ISO, shutter speed, single, continuous, timed, or panoramic shots. Speaking of the panoramic shots, I don't think they're stitched actually yet in the app. You're going to have to manually stitch those if you're going to do panoramic shots. But it also has white balance, styles, saturation, contrast control, sharpness, night mode, and grid mode on this. Now let's talk about storage of this thing. Let's pop open these little side windows on side doors on this particular drone. Notice it has a little micro USB port on the side. This drone has the ability to record your videos or photos on board using its onboard built-in 64 megabits of storage. And this is how you get that back off again using your computer. You're plugging it into that micro USB port. That's how you'd access that 64 megabits. But on the other side, if we open up this side here, this door here, we notice that we do have on this side a micro or TIFF card slot, micro SD card slot. So you can use SD cards with this also, okay? This can use up to 128 gigabyte card on this particular drone. So either using onboard memory, which for most people was more than satisfactory, but if you really want to go and go out and do photo shoots again, and you're going to need a lot of memory, you can bring your own cards and use them in this particular drone by using this slot here. And to select between the two here, that's in the settings of the app. In the app's main settings, you can select between either recording to the card, the onboard image, or onboard sensors, what am I saying, folks? Onboard memory of this drone, or using this micro SD card slot. Additional buttons over here, if you're, for those questioning what these are, this button is for binding your drone to a new controller. If you get a new controller and you need to rebind it, you'd use this. I'd recommend not pressing these buttons, folks, these two buttons here, unless you really need to. The second little pinhole button, I believe, is for changing the FPV video frequency that's being transmitted from the drone to the controller. So again, I do not recommend you messing with these two little buttons if you can avoid it. So that's that. That's the drone. Did I miss anything mentioning about the drone? Let's go right into the controller then. This is the controller for the drone. And it's actually a pretty nice controller. And the reason I'm saying that is, if you notice, it has on both sides little wires going up into the antennas, meaning that these antennas are not fake. Okay? With that in mind, folks, when you do fly this drone, make sure the flat portion of the antennas are always facing toward the drone. Never point the tips of the antenna toward the drone, because that will give you the worst reception possible. Best reception possible is to have the flat portions of the antennas pointed toward the drone, so adjust them accordingly so you get that orientation to keep that, again, the flat portion of the antennas facing the drone. Again, never point the tips of the antennas at the drone. Again, that is worst reception. So let's talk about the controller again. Well built, feels real kind of hefty, folks, but it has its own built-in battery, so you don't have to worry about bringing your own batteries for this. It's rechargeable battery. It's charged to this micro USB port right here. Other things on this drone, this does have a scroll wheel. This is for raising or lowering the gimbal of the drone to point the gimbal up or down. Or if you push and hold this function button down at the same time while moving this scroll wheel up and down, this will enable a zoom capability of the camera on the drone. This has up to 6 times optical. They say optical and digital zoom. I don't see where it's getting the optical, because I looked at that camera. I'm not seeing an optical type of, a telescopic lens barrel. I'm not seeing that inside there. So I don't know if it's really truly optical up to 6 times zoom, but I know you can get up to 3 times digital zoom. I did it already in the backyard with this particular drone, and it worked very, very well, actually. Buttons here, this is for taking a photo, and this button here on the right, if you hold it down for a couple seconds, that is for starting and stopping video. Other buttons on this is automatic return to home and landing, since this does have GPS and GLONASS and BeiDou. This can and is capable of returning home and landing on its own where it took off from. Additionally, it does have a feature selectable in the app where the drone's camera will look down at the ground and look for your landing pad and try to land exactly on that landing pad. That kind of works sometimes. Sometimes it don't. We'll try that again when we go out into the field. Okay, the on-off switch is right here, and this is the rate switch for, they got F, N, and S. F is for filming, N is for normal, and S is for sport mode. So high rate, beginner, intermediate, and high. If you're doing video recording, be in F mode. Okay, you want nice smooth flight. Keep it in film mode, and you'll get that off this particular drone. One other thing about this comes with 2 little sticks that can be removed for storage of the controller in the carrying case. They just go on and off like so. I got 4 of them, actually. I got a little 2 here, but if you look at the bottom of this, this is the holder for your phone, and in this bottom section here, there are these 2 little slots here that you can store these handles in, and actually mine already came with 2 already in these storage slots here two control knobs for these. So I actually have 4 for my particular drone. One other thing I got to talk about this controller. This slot on the side here, not only is it for charging, but it also is used to connect your phone to the controller. Okay, there is no Wi-Fi. You know where you get this 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi that you got to worry about in other drones. Is your phone compatible or not? You don't have to worry about that because your phone is connected to the controller via these on-the-go cables. Okay, we got 3 different styles on the goes. We got this is Type C on the go here for Type C phones. We have micro USB for Android phones with micro USB connections, and we also have for Apple phones an Apple connector on the go cable. So again, no need to connect connect via Wi-Fi. You instead connect your phone to the controller, and the controller has a built-in amplifier and relay that transmits your signals from your phone to the drone, and vice versa from the drone, the FPV signal to your phone through this controller. Excuse me, folks. The advantage of that is you got this built-in amplifier relay. You get up to 5 miles of range on the drone. Now, most people in the U.S. cannot fly 5 miles legally, and they get in trouble if they go flying out of visual range, visual line of sight of the drone. Okay, and 5 miles will be way more than what you'll be able to see this drone. So the real reason you want to have that type of transmitting power is if you're in a cluttered environment, say with lots of trees or lots of buildings around you, and you have a lot of signal interference, that too, from Wi-Fi systems or other systems that might be working on 2.4 gigahertz, 5.2 gigahertz range. This will power through that. Okay, that's the idea, is to minimize your loss of signal in a cluttered environment, in a environment with a lot of electromagnetic interference. This should be able to power through that and enable you to fly and maintain sight of your drone through the FPV system on board this particular drone. Okay, other things about it. We mentioned the controller. Did I mention what you get in the package? No, I haven't gone into detail on this stuff yet, so let's do that now. Of course, you get the user manual. I recommend reading that user manual. It's very well written. But also you get a quick start guide to get you in there if you're an experienced pilot. You get a bag full of stickers. You get the drone with either 1, 2, or 3 batteries, depending on which version you got. Excuse me again. You also get these. These are your battery chargers. Okay, it's interesting daisy chain system that they got here for charging the batteries. You charge them in series, and these sensors automatically detect and charge. They start with this battery first, and then it goes down the line to this battery second, and down the line to this battery third. So it doesn't charge them all 3 of them all at the same time. It charges them one at a time. Smart charging. It knows when to switch. When the battery is full, it'll go on to the next battery and charge them. They plug in like so into these chargers. And then you plug in this, of course, and again, it automatically detects when that one's full. It'll go on to the next one and charge that one, and then go on to the next one and charge that one. So that's how it's done, folks, with that charger. You get 3 on-the-go cables, again, for Android and Apple phones. You get 2 micro USB cables. One is for charging, I believe, this thing, and this one here is for connecting to the drone, I believe. It's for getting access to your video that's recorded on the drone, so you get the cable for that. You also get 2 full sets of propellers in case you ding those propellers up, along with a screwdriver to change those propellers. And again, I got an extra set of these little control knobs for my controller. So that's what comes in the package. Final notes before we take it out in the field to fly it. This will require updating the software on both the controller and on the drone. It's done by connecting your phone to, using the on-the-go cables to the controller if you want to upgrade the controller, or you connect your phone using the on-the-go cables to the drone and update it that way. Sorry, I'm getting a scratchy throat from all this talking. Okay, enough talking. Let's take this out in the field and see how it flies. So, hope you enjoy this flight, folks. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and welcome to beautiful Pleasant Ridge Park for the test flight, the demonstration flight of the Blackhawk 2 Pro. Okay, we're pretty much ready to go here, so all I really need to do, actually not fully ready to go, I want to demonstrate one thing for you first though. I'm going to turn on the transmitter, quick press and then long press, and then turn on the drone, quick press, and then long press until you hear the ESCs chiming. They're chiming there. And we're connected. Okay, I am going to connect the, it's already connected actually since we're connected through the controller. But what I need to do, folks, is open up the app. And what I want to demonstrate first is how to do a compass calibration with this. So hold on while I do that, folks. Okay, this is the Blackhawk 2 app available on Google Play and iTunes, actually on the Apple Play Store, I'm sorry. But before we fly, I want to do a compass calibration. And to do that, we need to hit in the upper right corner that gear icon, which is the settings, and go to compass and hit start calibration. First off, we need to hold the drone and then spin it horizontally. Now, we can do that by hand, or I just rotate my whole body. It's easier. The compass calibration dance. I'm an old school driver, or drone driver, so this is how we used to do it, folks. I still do it this way. Until it says calibration is complete. There we go. Okay, so we are ready to go. Now I got it on this piece of cardboard. The reason being, I like to have a nice flat surface to do these type of calibrations first before we fly. But once we get in the air, I'm going to put this pad over where it's at and use that as the landing spot. Another thing I want to do first before we take to the air is check our camera setup. We're in auto. I want to keep it in auto, but I am going to go down to the 3 dots. And the one thing it's not going to be auto is we got a sunny day here. Oh, it's already set. You go to style, sunny. That's how you do the white balance for a sunny day. You don't do it under white balance because white balance is just auto or manual, and then you slide it like so for the white balance. I'm not going to do it that way. You can use the automatic preset under style for sunny day, and that's what I'm going to do. That's what we got set. So we're good there. Okay, I'm going to lift up the drone and put the landing pad in its place where it was. Putting the drone back down again. And starting the video. Oh, actually, we've got to be in the air first to start the video. So we're going to hit takeoff first. And we hit OK to take off because we have 10 satellites. We're good. We're good to go there. Let me get in the camera, start the video recording. Okay, video recording is started. And as usual with most of my videos, how do you like my shirt today, folks? Okay, I'm looking at that sunny, maybe it's a little too saturated. Also, I'm noticing that we're having a little bit of lag there. Okay, the lag's gone away. Let me go back under camera settings one more time. Stop recording before doing that. Okay, stopping the recording. Like so. Recording should be stopped. Let's do it that way there, hitting these settings there. Then going back into the camera settings again. Camera settings is these 3 squiggly lines there. And going down to the 3 dots and turning off that, we're going to go back to natural. That's a little too much white balance. So, natural style. Okay, not as saturated. So, okay, we are ready to fly. First thing I want to do, folks, is send it up, straight up. Putting my glasses on so I can see it too while we do that. So we're going to go straight up till we're about 30 meters up. See if we can see Lake Erie. And right off, I'm noticing we do have some horizon tilt there. But pushing forward. Let's see, there is a way to correct that horizon tilt, and I'm trying to remember how to do it with this particular drone. We're not recording it, so I'm hitting record right now. And recording has started. Well, we're going to fly with the horizon tilt for now. I'm not going to, because I only got so much time to fly this before the battery goes out, and I want to demonstrate as much as I can while we got flight time here. But you can adjust that horizon tilt. Boy, it's fast. Flying out pretty fast.
to about 70, 80. I want to go out to the edge of the road about, right about there. Okay, now I am going to slide the gimbal downward using the app, actually. Let me see if I can do it with the app. Oh, I'm going to use the gimbal then. Oh, the app has crashed on me, so hold on while we restart the app. Let me hit wait. Oh, I just hit wait and came back. Okay, we're down there. So let me rotate toward us. Slow rotate toward our position. Hopefully I'll be able to see myself on the ground here. Okay, that horizon tilt seems to have gone away. Maybe that was the lay of the land. But it's turning. Because the next thing I want to demonstrate is the zoom capability of this thing. And the zoom is pretty good on this. That is, if I can... We lost signal again there. And I am pointing the flat portions of the antenna toward it. Okay, we got it back. Okay, and putting the gimbal down a bit. Okay, gimbal down. And I'm looking for myself on the ground. I'm right there, I see it. Okay, now if I hold down the function button and use the scroll wheel, this thing actually zooms. And it zooms nicely. Really nice zoom on this. It goes up to, I believe, we'll see how many power it says. 3 power, 2.5 zoom. Now there is a way to get 6 times zoom, and I believe, I'm not sure what, I did it the other day, but right now it's not wanting to do 6 times zoom. But while we're over there, let's come back out of zoom. I'm going to use the scroll or the app to unzoom it. Can I go greater than 2.5? Not with the app, not currently. So I'm coming back to 1 time zoom, and we're going to do automatic return to home and landing. So pressing the return to home and landing button.
Return to home.
And it's coming back. So we'll see how well the return to home and landing is. Now this thing is also using, I have it set up to look for the landing pad on its return to home and landing. So we're going to see if that feature actually works too. So I'm going to step back. Here comes the drone overhead. And it's going to start its landing. And coming down. And we'll see how close to the landing pad we get with this. It's looking for it. I can see that on the screen there. It sees my landing pad. It's centering itself on the landing pad. I'm looking at it. It is not over the center of the landing pad, although it thinks it is. Okay, it's drifting over to it now. A little more it needs to drift. But let's see it do its final descent. Will it land on the pad? Will it touch the pad? I'm happy if it touches there. It touches the pad. There we go. Okay, so return to home and landing has been demonstrated. Okay, the next thing.
Drone just auto-avoided a collision.
Okay.
Obstacle avoidance was used. Be careful.
It says calibrate IMU. Okay, we got obstacle avoidance on. So I did turn it on. One thing about that, it'll ask you to calibrate obstacle avoidance. Just hit force, it's not force stop, I forgot what it is, but there's a button there that you can press to avoid the calibration. You don't need to do the calibration with this, is what I'm saying. Okay, so let's take off to the air again. I want to take off, yep. No obstacle avoidance mode. I want to go to obstacle avoidance mode, so we're going to go into the settings. Okay, settings, come on. Let's land it again, because I want to turn on the obstacle avoidance. So we're going to see that, what I told you. Okay, in the settings here, let's find that obstacle avoidance and turn it on. Okay, search for landing pad, auxiliary, there it is. Now we got bypass and brake. Brake means it'll stop, and bypass will try to fly around you. I want it to do bypass, so we're going to hit bypass. And see this? Hit forced open. Ignore that. Okay? You don't need to do that calibration. And put it in again. Back on the pad again. Center of the pad. Obstacle avoidance is now on. I'm not standing in front of it, so it shouldn't be a problem. Take off.
fly with caution.
Why is it off? Okay, let's go back into the settings. Obstacle avoidance. Hit bypass. Forced open. Okay, there we go. You got to be flying to do this, so just to let you know. Okay, let's see if that obstacle avoidance actually works in bypass mode. I'm going to hit recording. Okay, we are recording, and I'm going to go out, and we're going to fly around and fly toward me and see if it senses me. So turning it around and flying it directly toward me. And I'm not hearing anything. Okay, there it goes. It sensed me and flew around me. That was cool. Let's do that again. Coming around, flying toward me, and it slides around me. So obstacle avoidance does work. Now another thing I wanted to check is obstacle avoidance of the ground. Okay, if we go over here, the ground comes up to meet the drone. Okay, let's see if it actually senses that ground coming up to meet it. We're going to fly over toward the landing area, or toward the parking area, and see if it senses the ground. As it gets closer, 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 will it fly? Will it fly above the ground? It senses it, hear it, and it flies up and over the ground. So that actually works, folks. Both for the ground coming up to meet it, and also for any objects that might be in the way. Like me. Let's do that again. I like that. Flying toward me, going full speed this time. Oh. I have big guts there. A lot of guts to do that. Okay, that worked. Obstacle avoidance is working. So I am actually going to turn it off now because I want to get in the picture, as you know I normally do, folks. So we're going to turn obstacle avoidance off. Now remember, again, if you see that saying calibration, just ignore it. Hit forced open. Shutting off obstacle avoidance if I can. It's off. Okay, next thing we want to try is follow me. You know, the advanced flight mode features of this drone. Getting back in the photo again. I'm stopping the video recording. The reason being because when I select these advanced features, that automatically starts the recording. So the first thing I want to do is go up a bit. We're going to do tracking. And I am noticing a bit of a lag here. You know, it keeps dropping the signal. There we go. That's probably because I'm so close. When you go out far away, it doesn't do that, but when you're in close, it does. Okay, I'm trying to lower the gimbal. Come on, gimbal, come down. Come on, gimbal, come down. How about if I use this app? Yeah, the app's lowering it. I'm not sure why the scroll wheel wasn't lowering it, but the app is lowering it. Come down a little lower. Okay. And then going up in the left corner there, and calibrating the cameras, and then hitting, not orbit, following mode. Follow mode, come on. You can do it. Following mode. And we're going to use active track. Follow me uses GPS. Active track uses the view of yourself on the ground. And you draw a little box. And why does it want to restart? No. Hold on, folks. That's another thing about, hold on. Let me land it on the pad. This is closing itself. I don't want it to close itself. We're going to land real quick. We'll land it in the grass. These camera mounts tend to bump up against phone control buttons on the side of the buttons, and can turn off your phone, as you see there. Okay, the phone's still on, so let me see if I can get back in there again. But that's an unfortunate thing. One thing about these...
The gimbal is under protection. Please check if it is jammed.
The
gimbal is under protection. Please check.
The gimbal is touching the grass. Let me move it over here, away from the grass. Okay, but again, see my buttons on the side of my phone here? This happens to me a lot with nearly all drones, and nearly all of my phones is There, see, it did it again. It turned it off. And I wish they would make these camera or phone mounts so that this is not an issue. But unfortunately it is with this particular camera or particular mount. Okay, I got it there. It's not doing it again. Let's get back into the air again. Hitting automatic takeoff. Okay. Yep. Going up again, lowering the gimbal. That's going up, so this is down, and going up higher too. Lowering the gimbal and going up higher for active track. Let's go up a bit higher too. Did I hit automatic return? I don't remember doing that.
Cancel return.
I did not hit that, but I must have. Okay, going back up again. Going up higher for active track. Okay, and I'm going to step back a bit, and then the 3 lines over here, we're going to hit following mode again, and hit active track. And hit understood, draw a circle around my position, and then hit go. Okay, then hit go. Okay, what happened there? Okay, lowering the gimbal again. It lost me. Lowering the gimbal. Then, okay, it overshoots. This little gimbal overshoots easily. But we gotta go into trace, tracing my position. There I am. It sees me. Click go, and now it sees me. And I'm gonna hit record. And Mobazin closed on me, so I'm hitting opening Mobazin again. Mobazin's open again. And let's see if this actually follows me. No, it's not. It's returning home again. Now, why did it automatically return home? Stop that. Now, why is it doing that, folks? I don't know. I did not hit the return to home button. Okay, raise the gimbal back up again. Can I slide it up faster? Now, there's a function in here that you can set the buttons. I can't remember where that was at, but you can set the buttons so that the gimbal will automatically go straight up again. Right now it's kind of slow. Okay, but bringing that gimbal back up again, and I don't know why it returned to home again. So let's try active tracing again. We'll do it right here. Trace. Okay, following mode. Follow me. Just regular follow me this time. And return immediately. What is this? It's too low. Okay, so we got to go up higher. That seems to be the issue. Okay, and then return immediately. And hide. Let's see if it follows me. And doesn't return to home. No, it should be following the GPS. Why is it? Okay. Let's hit stop again. This time, let's go into the settings. It's still returning home. Hitting the return to home button to stop it. In the settings, we are going to go to that looking for the apron thing and turn it off. Something's not right with that. So hold on while I do that, folks. Let me push it forward. I'm going to land it on the pad to save battery power. And I'm going to turn off that looking for the apron thing, because I think that might be what's causing that to do automatic return to homes. So hold on while I turn off that looking for the apron thing. Okay, I turned off looking for the apron. I think that might have been the problem. I'm not sure. Let's hit the automatic takeoff again. Take off okay. Because we're going to go into waypoints. Let's try to demonstrate the waypoints while we're out here. Waypoint mode. And I want to go up a bit higher for this. Waypoint mission, or record waypoints. No. Not that. Close it. Okay, going back to waypoints. Closing this. This is not what we want. I want to go back to our waypoint modes, record waypoints. Okay, waypoint mode. This is what waypoint mission planning is what I want. There we go. First point I want to go to is there. Oh wait, we got to hit add, and then draw, and that'll be our first. This will be our second, and this will be our third. Yep, no. Actually, let's go there, then here. Can I slide these? Okay, delete. Delete individuals. I don't want to go there. I didn't want to go there. Where I want it to go is... Where I want to go is here. Okay, add. Back to that. Where I want to go is... Come on. There. I don't know, folks. Okay, there. Well, that's good enough. Let's just do it. Okay, upload. Upload it. Hit start. Okay. And there we go in the waypoint mode. Let's... Also, is it recording while we're on that waypoint mission? No, it's not. Let's turn on the recording. As it goes off to waypoint number 1. Which is the field over there. And battery's getting low. That's fine. I got another battery. We're gonna, because I want to demonstrate all these features as much as I can here today, folks. I'm not sure what the problem is I had there with follow mode, and it kept wanting to do a return to home. Okay, but when we swap batteries here, maybe that'll go away, whatever that issue is. So we're going to see what the flight time of this is today. And going to waypoint 2. And I'm going to head back toward my position in waypoint 3. So let's see, we demonstrated waypoints. Try to demonstrate follow me. I am going to demonstrate follow me. If it requires using another battery, I will. Wonder how the camera looks on this. So, now, this will be the first video that I will be using 4K video with. One of my viewers, okay, we're waypoint 3. Waypoint mission is complete. I'm going back to this view. And one of my viewers helped me select a new laptop. That was my limiting problem there, in that I couldn't really edit 4K videos because it was just too intensive for my old computer. But under my battery is only 23%. Well, let me do orbit mode while we're at 23% video. No, won't let me do any of those. How about following mode? Just use follow me with GPS. Battery's too low, so we can't do any of that. So with the remainder of our battery, let's just fly around. Show the camera going up again. Just want to show the camera as it records around the area here. It is a nice drone. I'll give you that. The video looks good on my phone. There is some lag every once in a while and some dropping. Like right now, I think I got the signal back. It's just, maybe it's just so steady it looks like I'm losing the signal. But coming back down. Now this thing should automatically return to home on low battery. We're just going to fly around the area until it does such. Coming down lower too. Going around. Going around the area. And I'm going to let it do its own return to home and landing on low battery. 19%. I don't know what the return to home is. There it is. There it is there. Automatic return. So now we're low battery, return to home. Let's see how close that is. Let me get in the other side because I'm in this looking at the sun. Now I'm going to plop another battery in because we still haven't demonstrated return to home. We'll do that. This will give you the total flight time of this under a fully charged battery. Coming down, coming down. And there's how close it is. And that's the flight time with a fully charged battery. Okay, let me swap a battery in here and we'll go on to demonstrate the follow me feature. Let me move that off because I need a flat surface too. So hold on and I'll swap batteries. So okay, I plopped a new battery into that drone. I'm still on my flat landing pad there, my cardboard landing pad, and it's a device status list. And again, we want to demonstrate the other advanced flight features of this. Let's see if we can start the motors by down and out. Down and in. Nope. I guess the only way to start is automatic takeoff. So let's hit automatic takeoff and see if we get anything here. Just hit automatic takeoff. And I want to take off, okay. Without obstacle avoidance, we don't need it. We don't need obstacle avoidance. Okay, get it into the camera. Let's see if I can lower the gimbal. Lowering the gimbal. And raising it up too, raising the drone up too. Okay, I really want to do that active track, or tracing. Going up higher, 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 and then going into the selections again. And selecting following mode and selecting active track and hitting understood, and then circling over my position, selecting my position, and it sees me, and then hitting go, and it's tracking me. Okay, now let me hit record on the camera, video recorder. Okay, swap cameras there. I'm going to record video. Okay, I want to record video. And it's not letting me. So let me take a photo of myself on the ground, but it's not. I'm hitting this swap from video to see that button there, and it doesn't let me. Okay, I'm pressing down on the record video button for 2 seconds, and it's not letting me. So I'm going to hit stop. Stop. Will it let me do it now? Huh. No, it won't. Oh, there we go. Switch to video mode. Okay, so you got to be video mode and recording already before doing this, obviously, it seems to be. So I guess that'll be a future change. Active track, again. Active track. Hitting understood. Highlighting myself. It sees me. Clicking go. And is it following me? We'll find out. I'm going to step backward. There we go. Okay, active track is working. So, let's see how well it follows me. Now, active track comes in handy if, say, if you're following a moving vehicle or people on a soccer field playing soccer or football for you people that aren't in the United States. That's what we call it over here. So, but active track, finally I've demonstrated it's working. So, let's try orbit. Orbit me. Let's hit pause. Okay. And actually, let's hit stop. Okay. I want to get into the picture again. Okay, walk toward it, I guess. And we're going to hit orbit this time. So going back to, let's try, back to following, and active track, and hitting understood again, and highlighting me, and making sure it sees me, and we are recording, and then I'm going to hit orbit, and let's go to the right. The orbiting flight radius is too small. How about if I go over here? Click go to open. Okay, go. And there it is. Now, it's lost me. It's lost me. And where's it going when it loses you? Where does it go when it loses you? It goes around in circles like that. I'm looking for you again, I guess. I'm going to hit stop, folks. We lost. It lost my position and obviously lost me. Okay, so going back up again, raising the gimbal back up again. I want to try other modes. What other modes do we haven't we tried yet? Line fly. Okay, got to raise the gimbal up for that. Now line fly, it'll go in a, you have to set the direction it flies and what it's, here I'll show you. Let's go right into line fly mode. Line fly, and the angle we're going to be flying is 0, 0, 0. The distance we're going to be flying, I want it to go out to, no, not that far. Let's take it out to 100 meters. No, not 182. Not 160. I wonder if you could type them in. Yeah, you can. I only want to go out to about 100 meters. Okay, and enter. And speed. Speed is too slow too. Let's make that 9 meters per second. 9. I type 9 and it goes 0. How about 8? 9. Nope, you can't. The typing don't seem to work, so that needs to be fixed too. It's 1.0. Let's take it up. Increase it by sliding it. Speed 2.3. That'll be good. Check. I guess the fastest it'll go in this boat is that. Okay, let's preview the flight route. It is going to go off in that direction. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's see if I can, okay, obviously that's not the right direction I want to go. So let's go to re-edit. And the angle says 0. I want it to go, let's try 270. And then preview again. There we go. And perfect. Okay. So, now, and then we're going to hit return immediately. Now what this does, folks, is, while it's doing this, you can tilt the camera, you can monitor it, and tilt the camera toward your position, or away from it. You can rotate in any which direction while it's doing this line fly. And I'm not good at this, folks, but as you can see, you can set a direction to fly and then point it at whatever is in the area, and I'm going to hit stop. Line fly complete. So we're going to fly back toward us now. I'm flying line of sight. Since I can see it, I can bring it back to me. So that's line fly. Again, you'd use that and for fancy editing where you're going to fly past the position and try to point the camera at an object on the ground. So here comes the drone flying by me. Oh no, so far it's a pretty nice drone. Pretty nice what I'm seeing so far. Let me come over here. So I think we demonstrated most of the advanced features here. I want to double check that my camera on my hat is still recording. It is, because this flies a long time. Okay, anything we missed? Let's go back in the advanced flight features, falling mode, waypoint mode, orbit mode, hyperlapse. We haven't tried that. Let's see, line fly, creative video. Okay, hyperlapse. And what hyperlapse does, we got to stop recording. Okay, let me hit recording there, stop it. Let's try that again. Hyperlapse. Hyperlapse does, let's see, let's go up higher and show that. Rather than explain it, let's go up higher, right about there, and then hit circle. The aircraft will automatically capture and synthesize the video around the center point according to the set of the radius of the circle. Hitting understood. Okay, understood. Or there we go. And then the shutter interval is 2 seconds, video duration is 5 seconds, and then hitting go. And what's it doing? I took a picture there, took a picture there, took a picture there, and it's slowly rotating while it's doing this. It's going off to the left. So it's taking photos or video. I'm not sure what it's taking, folks, but I'm going to hit stop right there. Mainly, I think this is for high-speed video. Let me point it toward the road over here so you can see objects off in the distance. And then we're going to hit hyperlapse one more time with objects off in the distance. And then I'm going to hit free this time. Free. Okay. And there we go. And hitting do not show again. And now these settings for it are, okay, do not show again. A lot of them I can't get to. Okay, there's something underneath that I can't even get to on my screen, but hitting go. And look off in the distance, folks, at the cars off in the distance. That should be, they should be showing up as high speed or slow speed. But hitting stop. So that's the hyperlapse feature. I'm not really familiar with it, as you can see here. Insufficient photo data. So obviously you see I'm not fully familiar with some of the features of this drone. There are so many. It takes a long time to get familiar with all of them. But let's bring it back down. Final thing, we'll do creative video, since we got battery power to do such. But bringing it back down. Going up to the camera. Walking toward it. Oh, so we got to be above 4 meters. Okay, let's try that again. Creative video. Oh, okay. I know what this is. Fly to sky. First off, let's try that. Use your finger to drag on screen objects, box around. Okay. That'll be me. I want to get me in the picture. So we got to lower it. Lower the gimbal. Come on, gimbal. And there I am. And I got to draw around my position. And we're going to go, not 10 meters, let's go a little bit higher than 10 meters. That's too high. Okay. We're trying again. And then we got to click go to open. Now go is not showing on my screen. Nor are other features of this particular, there we go, hit go. Less than 5 meters. Okay, let's go up higher. Let's hit stop. We got to be above 5 meters. Okay, let's try that again. Create a video. Fly to sky. Dragging on my position. Did that. And I'm just going to hit go. Go. And there it goes. Okay, it goes up and just keeps looking at me. It goes right over my head. So that's rocket mode actually. It's hit stop. Okay, stop. Your creative video is finished. Aircraft is now returning to takeoff point. It returns to takeoff point, huh? No, I don't want to do that. I want it to come down. Come back down here. Come back down here so we can try some of these others out. And make sure we're above 5 meters. And raising the gimbal up again, because that gimbal went all the way down. You know, again, you can reset this gimbal by the press of a button that will automatically recenter itself. But I don't have it set up that way, unfortunately. So let's go to creative video again. And comment mode, I want to try that. Use your finger to drag around me. Wait until we see go. We're going to go clockwise. And then it says click go to open. Okay, It didn't like that position, so let's try it again. There we go. It lost me. It lost me. Excuse me, folks, but let's try that again. And there goes it. It's gimbaled out again. So we'll go up a bit higher this time. Maybe that needs a little bit more altitude. Okay. There I am, drawing a box around me, and then hitting stop. We're going to come out of this. It didn't like that. So let's go create a video again. Let's try droney. I like dronies. Around me. And distance up to about there. Then hit it, go. And automatically starts recording. And up and away it goes. So that dronies are up and aways. I like dronies. And hitting stop. Come out of that. And coming back in toward me again. Forward, forward, forward. Hitting record again. So those are, you know, the advanced features of this. It has others. This is going to be a real long video, but that's okay. I wanted to demonstrate as much as I can of it. Bring it right in. Up to me. So we're going to call it quits right here, folks. I think we've demonstrated enough because this is getting really long. Bringing it down low and syncing up the camera so my lips will go in here. So, and I'll give it a quick overview. There are still some bugs in the app, as you've seen there. It freezes up sometimes. The video display freezes up sometimes. But this app is constantly updated. I can tell you, just about every time I take it out there, I got to do an update for the app. So it updates a lot there. Other things about it, most of the features seem to work, and they are pretty advanced features that you get with this particular drone. The camera looks good, at least on my phone here. We'll see about what it looks like in post-editing. I'm particularly concerned, I want to see how the dynamic range is. Can you see my eyes right now, by the way? Because the sun is shading my eyes. If you can see my eyes, dynamic range is working. Battery's starting to get low again, so we went through 2 batteries almost. But with that in mind, we're going to do a final return to home and landing. Also, I talked about obstacle avoidance. It works on this drone. Okay, it'll slide around you or stop. Again, when you try to activate it, it'll tell you that the obstacle avoidance needs to be calibrated. Just ignore that and force it open. So, okay, so that's about it. One final return to home and landing, one final matching up the cameras and hitting that return to home and landing button like so, and bye-bye. And we'll see how close this final return to home is. And it's coming down. Oh, let me put that landing pad there, where it took off from. There. Okay, how close are we going to be? Not too close. This time we're off about 2 meters, I'm guessing, for the landing. And there we go. Landing in the grass. So that's it. That's the flight of the Blackhawk 2. Interesting drone from EXO. EXO/Hubson. So I hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101. Signing out.
Hi, Quadcopter 101 here again. Hey, if you want to get your own shout out in one of my future videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's real simple. Just go to my channel page and click on that subscribe. And also make sure to click that bell button right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified when I release a brand new video immediately and give you a chance to get that first shout out. So give it a try, folks.